know my lighting is pretty rough, and I need to replace my lamps here. Both of them are done, so they don't hold a charge, and this one flickers, as you can see, and that one I just unplugged, so I don't have any light coming from this one. But it shouldn't take away from the fact that, yeah, look what I have. These are the new KRK Gen 5 5-inch studio monitors with an all-new interface. I already had this virtual mixer by Beacon, and if you recall, those of you that have been here for a while, and maybe you've seen my one video where I reviewed this thing, and I called to Beacon. I mean, they probably never saw it, but I'm like, hey, you know, like, I'm connecting FL Studio to Beacon Mix Create, and I'm getting a pretty sizable delay. Well, that is now a thing of the past, and it's because I just got an interface. So now I did a thing where the audio from the DAW connects to the interface and not Beacon. It's a whole thing. I kept my wireless headset because I like doing things like cooking and laundry and whatever else I'm doing, and listening to my computer, so I didn't get rid of this, even though I now have these two great headphones that are so much better in every single way. DT990 Pros are excellent for mixing. I got the Audio Technica. These are the M40Xs, if you can see it. This is for like just general use, I guess, and just having another pair of headphones for reference. So yeah, these all serve a purpose in some way, shape, or form, and you really don't know how these Logitechs are until you've listened to these two, and then try and go back to listening to these Logitechs. They are pretty awful. But they're good enough for listening to podcasts while you cook and clean and do whatever the hell else you're doing in your house, away from your computer. So that's why I kept them. I can't believe I did any sort of music making with these. I mean, the mixes probably sound terrible, but you know, for what these are, they don't sound bad. These are 250 ohms, so the Motu M2 was not going to provide enough volume to run these, so it needed an amplifier to give it some more, or the adequate amount of boost, so I can hear all the detail and stuff. And I also have my Audio Technicas plugged into here as well, because why not? And it's kind of also like a hub for your headphones. So if you have multiple headphones, I have 2 empty slots, so if I, for whatever reason, wanted 2 more headphones, I'll just plug them into there, and boom, I'll have 5 headphones. Not like I need 5 headphones. I think I'm good for headphones for quite a while. That plugs into the Motu M2, the interface that drives all of this. It's pretty cool. It has an aesthetic to it that I really liked, in addition to it being a very capable interface. This wasn't the only interface that I looked at. I was looking at a few other ones, but this one I felt was what I needed, because I just needed something pretty capable. Also, it has 2 input devices, so if I ever get a standalone like Groovebox or guitar, or if I wanted to upgrade my mic for whatever reason, can plug it right into here, and yeah, it's got 48 volt phantom power that I don't need because I don't have anything plugged into it. So yeah, it is what I need now, and if I want to expand in the future, I won't have to get another audio interface. This Beacon Mix Create I already had. This is like a virtual mixer, so when I stream I can control Let's see if you can see it. I can control my mic volume and the web browser volume and the system volume and Discord or TeamSpeak or whatever I'm using, and you can scroll over to Spotify if it'll focus. I can mute things for the stream and still be able to hear it, or I can mute it for me and the stream will be able to hear it. It's really cool, man. I'm so glad I got it to work with everything, and there's no like delay with my keyboards or my drum pads or anything like that. My sequencer, it's all good. No more latency with FL Studio or anything like that. So real quick, while I was building all this, I'll get to the monitors in a second, but I wanted to get into the Native Instruments ecosystem. I didn't need this. I could have just used my existing MIDI controller to pair it with Complete Control and Contact 7, but I'm like, why go through all the rigmarole and setting it up, and maybe it'll do something wonky with like the default controls to FL Studio. So I'm like, I'll just get the keyboard that goes with the software, so that way it's plug and play. I don't have to worry about setting it up or anything and then having some of the stuff get all wonky. And I don't know, maybe I'm just making excuses. I really just wanted this keyboard. It's got some great sounds to it. I can't wait to add on to that library. It's a pretty cool little thing here, and when I finally get my drum machine, it is compatible with Machine, so I can just use this with Machine and not have to worry about doing that either, because it'll just work with Machine. So that's the other reason why I got this. So didn't need it. It was very much a impulse, sort of like unnecessary buy, but I'm glad I got it. And you know, it wasn't really that much money. Put it on a little stand and it goes nice and snug just underneath of like the 2-tier shelf I put my interface and mixer on, and I moved Nymph to the top shelf. Okay, moving on to the main event. We got Generation 5 KRK studio monitors. These are the 5-inch. Out of all the monitors I was looking at, I knew these were the ones that I should get, but it was a question of whether or not I could afford them. But thankfully, I could. I also went ahead and got the 8-inch subwoofer because they said for EDM you need a subwoofer. So I'm like, alright, I guess. It does not disappoint. I'm glad I got it. It was kind of weird setting it up. I think I got it set up okay. I should note that this is the Gen 4 sub, because I guess they didn't release a Gen 5 yet. And there's really no point in waiting on a Gen 5 subwoofer, because I mean, it's a subwoofer. Like, but what are they going to improve with a subwoofer? I don't know. Certainly not worth waiting, or whatever the amount of time is it's going to take for them to release it. So I just got this one. It's good. And probably won't think about it. One thing though is I might get a little table to like raise it up off the floor, because I don't want to accidentally kick the cone in there, because this one doesn't come with a cage like the Gen 5s do. I just kind of left the cage on, even though I'm pretty sure I don't need it, but you know, what's the harm in it? You never know, you know. It's better to be safe than sorry. So yeah, that's. I know this one you can buy a cage for it, but it's extra money and a lot of money. I hear it's a pain to put on, so I'm probably not gonna bother. I'll probably just put it on a little table riser and call it a day, and that way I can put all these cables and crap underneath of it, because right now I kind of have a bird's nest of cables under my desk, and it's kind of embarrassing. But this was supposed to be a temporary setup anyway, nothing permanent. I'm not sure how much longer I'll be here. So yeah, that's it. Also, I'll apologize if the content hasn't been there as of late been working a lot. I have a lot of songs that I'm working on that I haven't touched very much since I started working, so hopefully that'll change in a few months. But for now, you just gotta have to bear with me, and I appreciate all the new follows and subs and likes and stuff. Try and keep the channel alive as best we can in this kind of downtime.